Hi and welcome to AFTV. Now I know I don't usually host fan cams, but given that we've just beaten West Ham 6-0, all rules have gone out of the window. And I have Dan Potts with me from Football's 12th Man podcast. Dan, it's difficult to figure out where to begin, but let's talk about how you felt when you saw that starting 11, because the mood when we saw the 11 was very different to the mood after the game.
Yeah, listen, it was a bit deflating for some, and I must say, it wasn't really the starting 11, it was more the injuries and the fact that we had nothing on that bench to come on if we were in trouble. And luckily, the game didn't go that way. But I think when you start and you don't know how the game's going to go, you start to get a bit deflated. And I think for me, it's the recurring injuries in the same positions. You know, we've lost Partey and we've lost Timber and we've not got Tomiyasu back right now. There's a few positions there you're thinking, come on, we need these players back in those positions. Tomiyasu, apparently not ready yet. Jesus, some expected him to be in the squad. No. Zinchenko likewise. Obviously, Smith Rowe. Fabio Vieira. There's a lot of players that we're out missing at the moment, Sharoy. And I think when you look at our bench, it's fairly worrying because most of them are kind of young players, or they're players that have been kept on, like Cedric's, El Nenis, for a little bit longer than perhaps they needed to be. And there's a worry when you look at that bench and go, who's coming on there to change the game? So I think that was what deflated us. I'm not really sure I'm too devastated by the first 11, but the pure fact that I don't think he had any option, mate. I think that with the players we got out, he could play the team that he put out. And listen, luckily today, there was no worries about that 11, mate.
Definitely weren't any worries. And this performance in terms of chance creation wasn't too dissimilar from other performances, but we put the ball in the back of the net. What do you think the difference was? Was it tactical? Was it just a case of us taking our chances? What do you think the primary difference was at your end?
Yeah, it's an interesting question because you look at how we were playing at the Emirates against West Ham, and it was actually probably some nicer football, to be fair. What we did was we took our chances from our set pieces, penalties, free kicks, corners. This was, for me, really, really pleasing to see because since Dubai, something's changed with our set pieces. We were seeing beforehand, weren't we, Trossard hitting the first man, weren't able to beat it, trying to flick it on from that near post. It was becoming frustrating. And it was actually crazy that people were moaning about it because we actually scored a lot from set pieces, right, even until today. We've changed things and it worked. And I thought today we just absolutely dominated them. I thought West Ham are poor, man. Like, that's the worst side I have seen we have played against for many, many years, mate. And I've seen Sheffield United at home this season. I've said it against a couple of sides, to be fair, of the last few seasons. Well done, West Ham. You took the biscuit. Because for me, that was embarrassing, mate. They were so bad. It was embarrassing. And I look at the half-time score and I think, hold that, West Ham, yeah? Because the amount of fan base that be giving us abuse and trying to make us rivals, no, they deserve to be shut up today. The Declan Rice abuse was embarrassing, if I'm honest with you. Fair play to him. Went round at the end and clapped all of the fans that were there. Empty white seats, clapping empty white seats because they'd all gone. They can now go home in time for Antiques Roadshow, right? Fair play to them, all their fan base. Hold that. Because I'm telling you, they've been giving us so much stick. Oh, we beat you 2-0 now. Even if you win today, it's only 2-1 in the season. How many times have we beaten West Ham home and away for the last 2 decades? And we've never said 2-0 to Arsenal this season, West Ham. How do you feel about that? That's what they're shameless, man. So, do you know what? Hold that. Dan Lawless, hold that. I look forward to tomorrow night on my channel. I really do. And the rest of the fan base, man, the cockiness on Twitter. Oh, my God, the cockiness. Hold that, man.
Couldn't have put it better myself. But look, you say that it was 4-0 in the first half and it was a brilliant performance. I think we could have had more. It's difficult to pick out a man of the match. And I don't think anyone's going to argue with whoever you choose. But who was the standout for you today and why?
There's a few, isn't there? There's a few, even looking at the back, you think, why would we even look at the defence? But I did today. Gabriel was a monster, absolute monster. In midfield, there were some really good performances. I thought Declan Rice has to have a mention. The 6th goal, it was just beautiful, wasn't it? It's sweet when it went in. And you know what? It was mad. I think you and I were talking that Trossard and Ødegaard actually messed that up between them. And thank God they did. Thank the heavens that they did because it lands to Declan Rice who puts it in. What a strike, by the way. So he deserves a mention. Trossard, quick feet, unbelievable in that position. And a lot of people questioning it, saying, why is he so deep? Why is he playing there? You want to kind of see him on the left or in the false 9. Did a little bit of everything today, to be fair. But I have to give it to Bukayo Saka, bro. I just look at that performance and think this is by far his best performance in an Arsenal shirt this season. The stats now say that he deserves to be given the credit at his age. For what he's done, to have 100 goals and assists at the age of 22, just turned 22, that is phenomenal. For that talent. And people have dared to question whether this guy could make it to the top. They've dared to question whether he's having a pretty poor season. There's been games where he's been pretty poor this season, on 100%. I don't think his season has been poor. You look at the stats, that's his 10th Premier League goal. I think he's got around about 6 or 7 assists as well. That's just the league. Take away the Champions League, where he's actually one of the top scorers and one of the best performers in the Champions League in the group stages so far this season. I think he gets a lot of disrespect, Bukayo Saka. I think there's a lot of jealous people out there that don't like the fact that he's doing well at Arsenal Football Club. And they want to shoot him down. Doesn't help that he's English. We always do this as a fan base. Oh, Beckham, yeah, but Terry, yeah, but Gerrard, yeah, but Rooney, yeah, but now got Saka. And the kid has got elite mentality to step up, take that penalty. People forget very quickly what happened to him in the Euros. People forget last season he was in that very same position, and everyone started to say that was the reason that we didn't win the league, because Saka missed that penalty. The kid has got elite mentality, man, and I think he deserves a mention today, and for me, was man of the match, bro.
Couldn't agree more. And look, just to round up, if you're looking at the last two games, performances and results cumulatively, do you think that's enough for people to alter the way in which they view Arsenal in terms of title contention? Or is it still very much, we might well be the third best out of the top three and we have to take it one game at a time?
Yeah, I think it's the latter, if I'm honest. I don't think anybody will look in the last two games and go, well, I'm Arsenal winning this title now. But they will certainly question what their thoughts were and having doubts about Arsenal being in a title race. And I think that's what's key for me, is that when you actually look at the Liverpool performance, everybody was set up for us to lose that game. Arsenal were out of the title race in February. Everybody today, it doesn't mean anything if you don't beat West Ham, demolished them. Yeah, so people might look at that and go, maybe Arsenal got something about them to stay in this race for a little longer than people have actually questioned. I still think Manchester City are going to win the league, because I look at their team and I just think, how can we compete with that? Their squad is incredible, right? But we will be in the title race this season. I've got no doubt about it. Whether we'll win it or not, I still have my question marks. Champions League coming up again, that could affect things, of course. And Liverpool also are a very, very good side. You know, we beat them at the weekend and we're still looking up at them. So this is going to be a three-way race for me. I think people will look at Arsenal now and believe that they're going to be in that title race, and they're not going to be fighting with Villa for fourth and Spurs for fourth place. I've never ever thought that, even when we lost to West Ham and Fulham. But for me, I think we need to just take one game at a time. We've got some very winnable fixtures now, Sharoy, in a nice period of play. Yeah, we've got Sheffield United away, we've got Burnley away, we've got Newcastle at home, we've got Brentford at home. Winnable fixtures, yeah. Yes, Porto comes into the mix. We've got them home and away as well. But let's be real, when we got that draw, none of us were crying about it. We didn't think, oh my God, how are we going to beat them? So we've got some very winnable fixtures now. I just hope that we can get some players back, because that's going to be key, and that we can go on this winning run and show a little bit of momentum, man, and show that we're serious, bruv.
Dan Potts, thank you.
Thanks, bruv.